For me, it's an emotional moment to be remembering, I started, because Madame Serenity had said in the first live, talk about the journey. And I understood the India journey, the journey that I had just come back home from doing. So I started with the India trip, the India journey. And then Madame Serenity said, no, your journey in PVH. I said, oh, okay. So today I'm starting from the beginning. I'm going to start from when I met Mr. Siva and all that we have been going through. So it's been 10 years, as I have mentioned. So I was going back, and it was such a beautiful exercise, going back and started remembering and jotting down all the places where we have been, or almost all the places, because we have been around a lot. And as I was going year by year, my heart started going like this. Oh my goodness. Mr. Siva is a non-stop force of nature. He has gone everywhere. He has gone to many places repeatedly to help and to see the people there. And we have gone deeply into many places. And really, my heart started like melting. Last night, well, for me, it's early morning right now. Last night, I was checking everything out, and this space was really getting bigger, because I realized that it's such an honor to be a part of this. Anything that I can do, that I can be a small, a medium, a little bigger part of it, it's a real honor. And also I find it's a treasure, because for many people it is nothing. They don't realize, they don't see, they don't feel, they don't connect. And for some of us, for me and people around me and all of you there, it is not just simply a part of it. It's a way of being. It's a whole new dimension of my life, of our life, I would like to think. So it's such I don't know, the word that comes is honor, but it's something that really comprehends all our life. If you allow it, it comes into every bit, every part of my life, of our life, gets modified, gets changed. We can see things from another side. So without much ado, if you think it's correct, I'm going to start with how I met Mr. Siva. 10 years ago, in March 15, 2015, a neighbor of a friend of mine, which I have met, and he had a radio, and I contacted him. He left me a WhatsApp, and it's not a friend of mine. He left me a WhatsApp and said, Rosario, next weekend there's going to be something you cannot miss. He didn't say what. And he said it's free, and it was going to take place right in front of my friend's house. I live in another city, so I asked my friend, can I go and I stay there and sleep over Saturday to Sunday, and then I leave Sunday? Yes, sure, you can come. I went to the class. I arrived early because I was right in front, and there was Mr. Siva standing. The doors were closed. Mr. Siva was standing looking at his phone, didn't look at me, hello, good morning, and he continued. I stayed there. They opened the doors. We went in. And the person there knew that I spoke English, gave me a mic. Please translate. Okay. So I sat at the front in a corner, and Mr. Siva started giving his class. He started talking, and in a moment, in the due course, he started. This I find very funny, so I always tell, because it talks about me. He started measuring the antakarna in everybody, and nobody had antakarna. But I was in a way apart, so he didn't even look at me. I was really in the corner. So I said, hey, please, can you measure mine? So he came, measured, no antacarna. And I said, oh, this is very strange. Please, can you measure again, sir? So he measured again. No antacarna. How come? I'm so good. I do so much good. That was my idea. Okay, class went by. So Saturday finished. I went to my friend's house, and my friend said, Rosario, you're different. I feel something different. Tomorrow I want to go to this class. I said, yes, of course, come. And I called my mother, who was in another town. I said, Mom, you can't miss this class. Please come. So she had a lunch at home, Sunday lunch with a family, and I don't know, like 15 people. Goodbye, everybody. And she came to the class as well. And in that second day, Sunday, Mr. Siva said that he had come in an airplane that came through Brazil to South America, and everybody had dark energy, receiving or doing. And he needed to go to Brazil. So I said, okay, and he needed somebody. And I said, look, I have people there, I have family, I have friends, and I speak the language. Maybe I can help you. So he said, yes, please. This was March, and we organized for August. So in August, 10 days before the date of the class, from March to August, nothing. In August, he called me through Viber in those times, and he said, how's everything going for the class? And I said, well, really, I'm in Uruguay, and this is in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. I'm not there yet. My friend is organizing. She has a place. She has people, but I don't know how many. I don't know the place. I don't know anything. I was a bit nervous. And he said magic words that I never forgot. Rosario, please don't worry. We are working for God. Just let everything flow. And I said, oh, this is very nice. So we went there. We went to fetch Mr. Siva in the airport. We took him. The class was in a very nice place. There were 70 people in a free space because it was a restaurant that opened at night. So until 7 p.m., we had it for ourselves. It was a very beautiful class. Sadly, we didn't write down we did write down the names of everybody, but it disappeared. Only one person started connecting with me after no, several people did, but only one was very engaged, and she was the coordinator later in Rio de Janeiro there. Very nice lady. And in that class, my eyes were really open. This was the discovery for me of PVH, because my first class in Uruguay, I was like a bit like coming down. I didn't really understand what was going on. But in Rio de Janeiro, I saw Mr. Siva in action. And I think I have said before that we arrived, the class was at 9, and at 8, we had a light breakfast, and 8:30 he was there. The place was arranged as a restaurant. So Mr. Siva started taking out the tables and arranging the chairs with myself. And I was, this spiritual teacher, hands-on spiritual teacher, okay. Very different from all the spiritual teachers that I had met before that come when everything is ready and set and beautiful and nobody touches me, nobody, I pass like the grand master. No, this was somebody very different. So he started giving the class. I started translating. One nice little detail was that when we were in the class, he started doing the antacarna measuring to the people. And he came to me and he said, there is antacarna. And I was very sweet of him. And I started seeing that this was something that had no boundaries. What he was talking about, what he was giving to everybody, was not just a spiritual teaching, was also a family teaching, a workplace teaching, inner world teaching, whatever is happening inside of my emotions, me. So I said, oh my goodness, this is much bigger than what I thought at first. And when lunchtime came, we were giving, Mr. Siva asked for the food. We were standing. Everybody did a long queue. Everybody wanted to talk to Mr. Siva. And we just were standing up. This time we were standing up, not even sitting, leaning on a wall, eating, and the people were talking. And the people were talking, and he was healing, and he was giving instructions, and he was explaining, and he was listening. And I said, well, this is really a different kind of spiritual teacher. What is this all about? And then in those times, when several friends of mine came to the class, so we went to dinner with Mr. Siva, and we were talking with him for the first time like this, because I really hadn't been one-on-one with Mr. Siva until that night, that Saturday night, from Saturday to Sunday in that class in Rio de Janeiro. And he was a normal man. He started telling us about him, his family, his work. And we started asking questions. Everybody asked questions, and he was very open. And I said, this is really something different. I was very, very, not surprised, but, like when you start realizing you open something and you realize it's something huge. And honestly, I didn't see in that moment how it would change my life. But I think, of course, my soul knew, and I was getting like the first glimpse of, oh dear, what is this? This is something really, really different. And after Rio de Janeiro, I came back home to Uruguay. I continued reading affirmations. My life was very good in those moments. I had no problems, no troubles, no problems that usually they're calm, and I was fine, and I was doing my affirmations. And then one day I didn't do them, and then second day I didn't do them, and then 1 week I didn't do them. I didn't read affirmations, and when I remembered, I was not reading affirmations anymore. So this was August when I came back. In February, one day, very early at night, still at night, I woke up and sat like this in my bed. I'm not joking. This was how it was. And my thought was, I have to go deeper in PVH. It woke me up. Of course, it was my soul. So I got my telephone and I went to the website and saw where I'm going to go to the next class in South America, wherever it is. I checked the website, no classes in South America. I said, oh. So I wrote to Mr. Siva, and he replied instantly. This was Wednesday. And he said, the next class will be, there's a class in Buenos Aires, which is 1 hour from where I am, Montevideo, next Sunday. This was a Wednesday. So I bought my ticket, a boat ticket, and I went. And when I arrived, Mr. Siva gave me the mic to translate. And that is what I officially feel was my starting in PVH as a Spanish translator and as a real follower. Because then I think, my soul said, come on, foolish girl, stop wasting your time. This is what you have to do. This is how it felt. It was like, just like, I have to do this. Where is it? Okay, next Sunday, next Saturday, let's go. Mr. Siva was always very well in that class. We arrived, and in those days he used to take the affirmations with him. Imagine the suitcase with all the affirmations in paper from country to country. Mr. Siva's suitcases were like a rock. So he opened the affirmations, and when we see, they were all in Portuguese, not in Spanish. And we were in Argentina, they speak Spanish. So, we didn't have affirmations. And Mr. Siva, don't worry, we'll do. I started seeing that he was really something else. Really, instead of going, we don't have affirmations. If somebody can print, or later we'll see, there was no problem. I saw that this person had something in him that it's not that nothing disturbed him, but nothing really moved him from his path, from what he was doing. This difficulty, okay, we'll take care of it. This other difficulty, okay, but just keep going. I was, for me, it was like a list. Okay, one more. Okay, one more. All were wonders. I was saying, what is this? Because I had been in two. Yesterday, I was thinking about this just because of this recollection I was doing. I was thinking that when I was 18 years old, my mother was into Guru Maharaji, Prem Rawat, I think he's called today. So she took me there and I went, and I remember that I sat for satsang and I cried all while all the hour of satsang I cried. Of course, today I know it was the souls there and everything, but not knowing that, I thought I had been, like touched by something. I was not long there. Then I met another spiritual teacher 25 years later, and I worked with her for 10 years, yes, 10 years more or less. And everything was nothing, but you cannot even say it's spiritual paths. No, had nothing to do, nothing. Game of egos, not only in the teachers, but also in all the people around, like not even worth talking about. Nothing compared or even close to what Mr. Siva has achieved, is building. The way that I described him in those moments when people asked me, because of course everybody asked me, what are you following? What is this man so strange for us in South America? Somebody from Malaysia that is an engineer. Now, explain, gurus are different, spiritual teachers, what? Nobody. And the way that I described Mr. Siva in those days was, I think, because in those days for me, it was a thought, it was trying to grasp, to understand. I would say, I think he is a person that is empty of wanting for him. He doesn't want power. He doesn't want, because the other thing that he said, the first thing he said that really stuck with me was, we are working for God. And the second thing he said is, we are not in the convincing business. Woof. That for me was like, okay. Because it's always horrible to try to have, if you want to convince somebody, if you need somebody, it's because you want something. And that is what I feel that is the base of Mr. Siva's power, if you want to say. He doesn't want for him. He is giving all the time. And he wants for us, he wants you to understand, to see, to be more, to do more, so I would say he is empty. When people ask me, what's the difference with this person? Why are you following? I would say, for me, this spiritual teacher, the difference is that he is empty. He doesn't want things for himself. He doesn't want followers. He doesn't ask for money. This is also something very different, because I don't have to explain how much money goes out in spiritual practices all over the world, all kinds. So all that for me were like, whoa, this is it. This is it. This is it. And then in those moments after Buenos Aires started my, I would say, discovery. Mr. Siva wrote to me, and I kept the message. It was in Viber. I took a picture and I still have it. In those days, 2016, he said, we have to come up with money so we can travel all through South America. And I was, dear, I never thought about them. Maybe I can travel with Mr. Siva through all South America. What? For me, it was like, I took a picture and I still have it. It was like, and I once in a while I would go and see the message while I had Viber. It was still there. Woo! It was like a dream, like something. And so one day started happening. Mr. Siva, again, we went to Brazil, we went to Mexico. the first big trip for me was Mexico. And I had never been to, well, I had been to Mexico, but not even to Mexico City. I had been to a small beach while I was in United States with friends. They had friends in a small beach somewhere, and we went there, stayed a week, and went back. So it's like not being in Mexico at all. And this time we were received so beautifully, as we are always in Mexico, because the Mexican family is a PVH Mexican family, has a huge heart, and they do everything for PVH. They are very dedicated. In fact, they had a donation of a big van, old van, but beautiful van, and they had plotted PVH, the Prana mobile, and we went around, and well, that was later. But this first time that we arrived, we met in the airport. And I remember Mr. Siva went and was very surprised. He went and there was some policemen talking, like 5 or 6 policemen talking among themselves. And he went near and he started measuring, sensing with his wand. And he said, everybody has black magic. All these policemen are working for the dark side. And I was, oh my goodness, what does that even mean? I was still, like just starting to really come down, discovering. This is what I call the discovery period for me, because I never, ever could have expected how deep and how ever encompassing everything in life PVH is. So for me it was, okay. And how do we change the policeman? I mean, what? So from there, he asked to be taken straight to Teotihuacan, this huge pyramid that nowadays is in the center of Mexico City, the capital. Before it used to be apart, but the city is so big now. So we went straight there. We climbed with a group of people came, we were like 15 people. And we sat on top. I don't think nowadays you can do that. And now we sat on top, and it's very tall, it's very big. You're over all the city. Well, you see the city around. And one thing that really got me is that the steps to go up are really very big steps. And he explained how to breathe, and one step at a time. And we all arrived there with no problems, just fine. Another, look at this. We sat up there, and he started sensing, and he started sharing with everybody what he was seeing and what he was sensing. Another thing that for me was a surprise, because normally spiritual teachers that I had known before, the information is for themselves. They're not open. They're not sharing everything. Mr. Siva is just a sharing machine. He shares everything. So I was, okay. And he explained that, well, they explained to us, we already knew that pyramid was the pyramid where they had 300 years before done the heart sacrifices. I don't know, thousands of people, slaves and people from other cities and towns that they kidnapped, they took there, they cut, show the heart to the sun, throw the body, and keep the heart here. So he said, of course, all those souls were there. All the souls of the families of those that had their hearts taken out were also there. Of course, they all wanted revenge, and they were all very sad, and they were all very negative. And this negativity was the one that was spreading towards all the city, including the policemen. And I said, okay, right, of course. And then he said that there was one powerful soul that was keeping all that and had been doing all that, and that was keeping the souls until today all there. So Mr. Siva elevated everything, elevated those souls, elevated that special, very dark soul and all the souls. And when we went down the pyramid, it was like we were going down another place. When we arrived, he measured, because when you go to that pyramid, it's a very huge place, and there's a big open space where there are a lot of vendors and things to buy, to take home, the Mayan calendar, this and that. And when we were going, he measured, he said, every piece of thing here is very negative, and everybody buys this and takes it home like, oh, this is such fantastic. We went back and he was measuring, everything is clear. And then in the street, we found a policeman, he measured, oh, everybody is clear. There's no black magic in Mexico. What? I was so surprised. For me, it's a discovery. It was my first time with him doing, because in Argentina, we just had a class. In Rio, we just had a class. In Uruguay, we had a class. I had never seen him in action in such a charged and negative place like this Teotihuacan pyramid. And I was really, never I had a thought of, he's just saying this, it's not possible. No, for me, this was all happening. And I could feel it, because I could just feel it. When we were coming down, the energy was different. When we walked around that huge space back to the car, everything was different. And I couldn't understand. I didn't, my brain, my mind didn't understand, but I had an understanding that everything was different. And then we had like 5 classes in Mexico, in different parts of Mexico. And many people in every city started coming to the class with what they called sun allergy. But they were showing, well, some people couldn't even go out in the sun. A small girl, 9-year-old girl, if she went out in the sun, her nose started bleeding. She started feeling a lot of pain. She fainted. But other people had what they called sun allergy. All their skin was like dark, like black spots, all. And Sir started saying, sensing those people, that they had been, priests that took part in those sacrifices, taking the heart out and showing to the sun. So the sun didn't like them, because of course the sun never wanted to have a part in that horrible, sinister thing. So all those people, and he even said, oh, you've had 11 lives with this skin problem. In others, imagine if they hadn't met Mr. Siva, PVH, they would have continued having those troubles. They couldn't go out in the sun. So, of course, he healed everybody. This little girl that was 9 was very beautiful, because next time we went, she was 12. Next time we saw her. And she said, I'm normal now. I can go out. I can play outside. I can swim. I can do everything. Never again I had anything. It's very beautiful. Of course, the other people of the skin as well. But this girl was really nice, because she was very young, 9 years old, not being able to be outside to see the sun. It was complete. She had to lead a different life. So it was very beautiful. And we even, several years later, like 4 years back, we were in the airport, and the person that was taking the luggage, he was a heat of I don't know how many degrees, and he was all covered, and he had gloves, and we could see something very red. And Sir said, ask him what is going on. And he said, oh, all my skin is in the airport. And so Sir measured, sensed, and he said, again, skin, the sun. He took part in this of the sun. So he gave him affirmations, and he made him read, asked him to read, and he deactivated all for this guy. Of course, we never saw him again. In every trip, I have examples of Mr. Siva just seeing somebody that needs some help, going to them, giving affirmations, and helping them. Every trip, absolutely. In every trip it happens. It's not only in the class. Sir is a helping machine, a love machine, always, to anybody. This is also something that really, another thing that I saw, that no matter who you are. Well, in fact, in that Buenos Aires class, the organizer, that first Buenos Aires class that I went, The organizer had a judge, a very important lawyer judge, that he said, oh, please see him because, and Mr. Siva said, what? No way, he has to sit in my class. No, he will never sit in a class with, there were like 300 people. With 300 people? No, 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 he's very important. Sir said, no, there is no very important VIPs for PVH. He has to sit for the class and then I'll take care of him. And the man sat in the class. He had really big problems and he sat in the class, and I said, okay. And then I saw that exactly, Mr. Siva, everybody is a soul and is worthy of helping, of being helped, of loving, of giving, of teaching. So this was also something that I saw very different, because the other things I have read and the paths I had gone through, you have to be a certain way, you have to do a certain thing, or you have to, okay, check, you're in, you're part, you're one of us. PVH, no. Everybody is worthy, and Mr. Siva pays it. Well, in the street, it happened one day. We were in Mexico also, and somebody was in the floor. They had fainted. It was a man, and 4 or 5 people were around, and Sir went, did a pingala, aura cleansing, and the guy started coming back and helped him, and then, you're okay, boop, boop, just left. But whatever shows up, whatever comes up, Mr. Siva is there for, he shows up and he really gives his time, gives his heart to it.